wanted to do a video basically on divested zealot. Just basically pertaining to some things, how I started, how I became subscribed to her and things of that nature. I have been subscribed to divested zealot since February or March of this year. So kind of recently, considering like I've been subscribed to Shira 7 since the year before, and Crystal Swirls, and a few others, you know. Some people I've been subscribed to for a very long time. But I don't think, was the divested zealot even around like over a year ago? But I started watching her last May. Honestly, because she has different people on her platform. In the beginning, I saw her, one person who talked on her channel. They were a biracial person who appreciated Cara D. And everybody knows how I don't appreciate Cara D. It's a long history of that whole situation. I think that's almost since the beginning of my channel. Which I've never really actually had an issue with anyone since the beginning of my channel. That's pretty long lasting. Anyway. So, basically, I didn't watch her for a while because she had that person on. Excuse me. But I saw her channel and I was like, I thought she was more so like hypergamous, or someone who could be like divested in some cases, but some cases not. Like, more like, I don't know. Sometimes people have like divested channels, but they may not be completely divested. I didn't know her channel that well yet. But then, I think it was when I watched Lexus Exodus, and Lexus Exodus did a video on divested zealot, and that's when I realized that it's like, oh, this is like really what I like to watch, basically, you know. And so, I started watching her since May, basically. Like I said, you go in and out, because sometimes she has someone on that I don't really want to see, so I don't watch for that. But I started consistently watching back in October, when she was talking about divested mammies. Now, for perspective, I think this is a major reason why people never understand me as a person on these divested spaces, because a lot of times, if you look at many different spaces that claim divestment, say, for example, the fence sitters who aren't divested, obviously, who are more like followers of Cynthia G, they're more so the type, like, they sit on the black dick, but they complain about the black dick, all that stuff, right? And someone like me is almost opposite to that, basically. But the only difference is, well, I don't go complaining. Like, to me, I'm like, you know, one thing is, you should learn from your mistakes, and you shouldn't just, you know, blame the men you're involved with. I mean, it took two to tangle, so it just never made sense to me to blame the other person. I always think, well, you should blame yourself for choosing wrong, you know what I mean? I mean, you should vet people a little bit better. But, you know, basically the divested zealots video on divested mammies really did hit a nerve for me. Not in a way where it was, I felt insulted, actually. It was just kind of like, oh yes, you actually acknowledge that, you know, there is white smoke. And that, you know, people need to actually level up sometimes for the type of men they date. Now, this can apply to any race of man. Now, some people would say you can't level up with black men. I don't really know if you can, nor do I care. Because it's like, to me, with leveling up to dating black men, it's like, you telling me that you can't level up to date women, for example. I don't really care if you can or not. That's not really my concern. Some people say you can, some people say you can't. I don't care. But a major thing is with divested platforms, I like the fact of divestment for leveling up your value in men you date. Not specifically anything on black men in particular. Now, if people want to go after black men and all that stuff, that's fine. And like with divested zealot, when she goes after black men, usually it's on the terms of their criminality and things of that nature. I have nothing against that. Excuse me, especially since to me I'm like, well, you're not sitting on black dick and complaining about it. It's got really nothing to do with your personal life. So I mean, like, you're not even affecting a black man's life like that. You're just saying this is someone you probably don't want to be with. Which, I mean, the people she brings up, I think nobody really would want to be with those type of men. So there's no shock there. But more than that, it's to me like, the whole idea of divesting isn't just about black men. And she doesn't just talk about black men, She also talks about, one, mammies. She talks about mammies a lot. And she talks about the black community in total, and trying to divest from that as well. To me, I like the mindset, and I like the perspective of divested zealot, and of the divested platforms too. But I think a major thing here is sometimes I've noticed on divested platforms when they act like they are so focused on black men, they won't really focus on how to actually press upon their followers how to vet better with other races of men. Which, I mean, like, you want a good quality of men you're dating interracially, otherwise, what's the point? And, the first video I watched of Divested Zealot, she really put upon that point where it's not just about, the race, but you also want to make sure you're dating actually good men. Which is what I really appreciated about her video. With that said, to me, one thing I noticed was she was saying in her last video, she was talking about some person who died who was white smoke or whatever, and she was acting like it was a waste. To me, this is where I kind of part with her idea. To me, I think has a low class. So, everybody's got smoke. Every race of man has smoke. And we're supposed to basically, vet between them. And trying to basically I don't really see any smoke as better than another type of smoke. And this might be why I don't particularly drag black men. Because I'm like, well, yeah, some of them are really bad, but I don't know, that's just how people are sometimes. People are bad sometimes. But I don't see it like as something out of the norm, so to speak. I see it as, some people are shitty and people are shitty, kind of thing. But all in all, I do like how she presents, at least acknowledges the fact that there is white smoke and, how to actually vet and actually get better.